You're gonna regret ignoring this shift in crypto, especially if you're still stuck playing the same narratives from months ago. Look, the crypto market is in a very unique position right now. Just 6 months ago, the market was pumping hard. Bitcoin pushed to new highs never seen before. People were going nuts over Solana meme coins. It genuinely felt like we were in a bull run. Then the downtrend began. Bitcoin fell back under 80K, altcoins cooled off, and the hype around all of these hot narratives just faded away. All that talk about AI crypto popping off and meme coins doing 100x's, it all came to a stop. Things went very quiet. But what's going on right now? Well, Bitcoin bounced and set a new record high just weeks ago, and it's still trading above 100K. And that's about it. The altcoin market saw a bit of action too, but it's nowhere close to where it was trading 6 months ago. Just look at where Ethereum and Solana are compared to prices in December and January. This is the case for most of the altcoin market right now. So what's the issue? Why do all these altcoin price charts look dead while Bitcoin's pushing to new heights? Well, another way to put it is that this might just be the calm before the storm. And this is usually how we would expect an altcoin season to play out. Bitcoin pushes first, maintaining dominance in the market. And then eventually there's a shift of money into altcoins, pushing the altcoin market up to new heights. And as of now, Bitcoin dominance is still climbing and continuing this uptrend from 3 years ago. A sudden decrease in Bitcoin dominance has always lined up with a major shift in funds into altcoins, leading to crazy new record high prices across the market. Of course, there are alternative theories about how this cycle is different and that we might not see the same pattern repeat. But what's so different about this cycle? Well, there are now spot crypto ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum and applications pending for other assets like Solana and XRP, which means greater accessibility to Bitcoin and altcoins for traditional investors. We're also starting to see easier access to crypto for the everyday person. Compared to the last cycle, I've seen way more of my friends and family members get into crypto pretty easily this time around, all on their own. There's a major focus on making crypto investment platforms user-friendly for newcomers, and this makes a huge difference. And if you look at the projects and tech behind all of these altcoins, it's only getting better with time. More use cases for individuals and corporations, more integrations with real-world financial systems. And if anything, it kind of feels like the perfect setup for a massive altcoin season we've never seen before. Do you agree? Well, if we're still waiting for a greater move up, then we're actually running out of time to get properly positioned. And while most of the crypto community is obsessing over the same few narratives, I'm going to be discussing an important area of crypto that deserves a lot more attention. I don't see this being discussed at all, which means we could be very early. So you don't want to miss this one. Now, before we go on, I often get asked about my favorite exchange to use. And the truth is, I don't have one. There are just too many hacks and downtimes to just rely on one single platform. Even major platforms like Coinbase have had major outages. That's why I use over 10 exchanges. And if you're into futures and margin trading, then one that I like to use is Margex. They've got several major trading pairs and up to 100x leverage options. And their fees are super low at 0.02% for market makers and 0.06 for takers. They also make use of an AI-powered MP shield to help prevent price manipulation and create a safer trading experience. And here's a sweet deal for you. If you sign up with my link down below and deposit up to $10,000, you can claim a 20% bonus. And Margex is also running a 1,000 USDT event for the first 20 community members who open a trade. Every additional million in volume adds $100 to the pool, so 5 million in volume means $1,500 to split. So if you ever thought about giving futures trading a shot, or if you're already experienced but need a solid exchange for your trades, make sure to check out Margex. And if you want to get all the latest alpha on projects in the crypto space, then check out the FireHustle VIP Discord. I also share my content and portfolio moves in the Discord first before it reaches YouTube and X. So if you're looking for a way to stay ahead of everyone else in this market, then follow the link in the description to learn more about the Discord group. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and keep in mind that none of what I share is financial advice. Alright, let's get started. So if you've been following my channel for a while, or if you're in the Discord group, you'll know that some of my largest portfolio positions are in layer 1 projects. The issue is that everyone's always hyping up their favorite layer 1s. This one is the fastest, that one is the most secure, here's the most scalable network. You get the point. And yeah, I've got my top picks too based on these factors, but one aspect of layer 1s that usually gets overlooked is privacy. And this is partly due to how much importance is being placed on transparency. Yes, it's important for financial interactions to be transparent in some use cases, but imagine anyone being able to go through a network explorer and look through your personal wallet and transactions. It's a bit concerning, right? Everyday users would likely want to keep this sensitive information private, but most large layer 1 networks weren't designed with this aspect in mind. You might be familiar with a project called Monero, which is built for complete privacy and anonymity. This sounds great until you realize how resource intensive and inefficient it is to keep every single thing private and anonymous. And not to mention, this brings up a major concern for compliance and government regulations. So how can we implement privacy without these drawbacks? Well, one project that takes a smarter route to privacy is XELIS. So this is basically a layer 1 project that's all about solving the issue of privacy that I mentioned. But their goal is to do this without hurting network performance or real-world usability. And their solution is partial privacy, where transaction amounts and wallet balances stay encrypted, but wallet addresses remain public. That way you keep your privacy, but the network still allows for transparency when needed. It's kind of like how your traditional bank account works. Your information isn't available to the public, but it's still auditable. Now, what really makes XELIS stand out is that it's built on BlockDAG architecture, similar to Caspa. So it can process multiple blocks at once, reducing congestion on the network during higher activity periods and providing more room for scalability. Plus, it's a proof of work network that's ASIC resistant, meaning anyone with the GPU or CPU can mine the native XELIS token. And this helps decentralize the network even further. Now, speaking of the XELIS token, this one is on a strong downtrend right now, and I'm not surprised. The December pump pushed this one from under $4 to over $12, and since then has been rolling downhill week after week. Most of the altcoin market is still struggling to recover from the 6-month-long downtrend, but the XELIS token is really feeling it, especially as a smaller cap coin under $5 million. This brings up an important question. Is this going to recover? Or are we looking at a dead coin? Well, this goes back to the concept of privacy in crypto, which is still a pretty quiet narrative, at least for now. If you think about crypto adoption and how things are going with financial institutions and governments getting more involved with crypto, it's a massive change. And we're still in the middle of figuring out how crypto can fit into our everyday lives. It's only a matter of time before privacy concerns start popping up. And in the end, what everyone wants is a fair monetary system that respects privacy boundaries, but also doesn't let fraud and crime become untraceable. And this perfect balance is what XELIS is all about. Of course, what also matters is project development and future plans. The devs have already launched a testnet for smart contracts and a custom language called Silex, with private dApps in the works. And soon they'll let users launch confidential tokens directly from the consensus layer without any smart contracts required. This makes it way easier and more affordable to create privacy preserving tokens with just one XELIS needed for deployment. And one big recent development on the testnet is an improvement in the block time, bringing it down from 15 seconds to 5 seconds to write a block. This also comes with reduced disk usage and RAM usage to create a more efficient network. For anyone interested in mining XELIS tokens, the project team also just partnered up with Octaspace for easy mining through GPU and CPU rentals. Looking forward, the team is working on a native DEX that will support trading on future XELIS native tokens. And of course, all of the fine-tuning being done on the testnet is to prepare the mainnet for an upgrade eventually. This is when we'll be seeing all of the project elements come to life, including privacy-focused dApps and the launch of privacy tokens. With the regulations and government views on crypto undergoing major changes, we're starting to see a path forward toward greater crypto adoption. And as more people start to use crypto, it'll become more and more important to address the issue of privacy for users. At the end of the day, personal financial dealings are meant to be personal. Aside from when criminal activity is involved, everyone should have the right to keep their wallet balances and transactions private. Now, the XELIS team is providing a nice balanced solution that almost reflects the current traditional financial system, which would create an opportunity to seamlessly transition over to Web3. But of course, just like with any other crypto project, we need to assess the risks. And for XELIS, we need to see all of their planned upgrades go live on the mainnet. It's clear that this team is working hard to bring us updates, but the true test will be when the mainnet is fully functional with all of the expected features up and running. Another point is that timing also matters. We know that the crypto market functions in waves or cycles. Projects that are fully up and running when user activity is the highest will get to take advantage of the bullish sentiment. But if the most critical updates are launched too late, then the project misses out on a massive opportunity to grow their community. So we'll need to keep an eye on the developmental progress as we move on with this cycle. Now, XELIS is a relatively new project, and based on the market cap of about $5 million right now, is still pretty small, which means a lot of upside potential if they play their cards right. There's actually another low cap project in the privacy sector that's even newer, and this one's all about turning transactions private by taking them completely offline. The project is called Monopoly Money, and it's built on Solana. Here's how their payment system works. You would start by converting your Solana into encrypted digital cash. In this ecosystem, the cash would be PUSD, which is pegged to USDC. This cash now exists in your wallet but can be used completely offline. You tap your phone on someone else's phone, whether it's a friend or a merchant, and this triggers a transfer of your digital cash without needing the internet. So the transfer is completely offline. Then when you finally go back online, your wallet gets synced to the network and the blockchain gets updated. So your offline transaction is fully proven without ever revealing the details. This is possible thanks to a zero knowledge proof system called ZK Snarks. Now, this project is still in its early stages of development. The dev team is slowly growing and testing out features before actually deploying a final product, which means we're actually super early to this. And the project also has a native utility coin called Money, with the O being a 0 and the E being a 3. Holders of this asset gain governance, voting rights, rewards, and growing value as demand for the platform increases over time. And if we look at the price chart, we can see that the price really took off at the beginning of June, and now it's fallen into a lower trading range. And being a low cap asset with increasing trading volume, I expect this to fluctuate more by the time you see this. With that in mind, you should also understand that this isn't a guaranteed winning play. There's always a risk that comes with opportunities in crypto, and the risk is even greater with newer and smaller projects. So what do you guys think about privacy in crypto? Do you think this is going to be a major topic moving forward? Let me know and leave a comment down below, or let me know if you're already involved in other privacy focused projects. But as always, none of what I say is financial advice. My only piece of advice to you is to spend more time doing your own research on projects and topics that you learn about on this channel. Make sure you understand what you're getting into before making any financial decisions. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one.